Hi, I'm Soft, and this is an artist's life in Tokyo. This week I walked a runway show, and there was something about the creative juices flowing of just knowing that I was going to be involved in something so beautiful in the fashion sphere that kind of made me want to do my own thing fashion-wise too. So I began to plan my own photo shoot. It started out with just trying some styling options and flexing creatively on that front. And then I ended up doing some location scouting. I was going through Pinterest trying to work through my ideas. I already know who I want the models to be. First me, of course, and then also my friend Alyssa. We've done this twin themed photo shoot thing before, and I want to do it again, except for this time I wanted it to be more colorful and airy for the spring. So I was planning that, and then I walked a runway.
Yeah, so almost ready for day one of this 2-day runway job I'm doing, and I hope you enjoy coming to it with me.
Like most things in modeling, doing a runway is mostly backstage stuff, waiting, practice, stuff like that. So the runway is actually for Bunka Fashion School's graduate course, and it was kind of special to me. I was saying in my last video that I actually got booked by my agency through Bunka, the fashion school. I did a photo shoot with one of the students a few years ago. My agency ended up finding me, and now they sponsor my visa and I work as a model full-time. Well, they also are a sponsor of the fashion school, and so all of our models kind of collaborate with the school to help put on this runway.
I think my makeup turned out good, which is not always the case. Looks cute. My first look. So cute. They did my makeup a little bit different today. I think the skin looks way better. And then they were just like, you can go wherever you want to until 3:30. So now I'm sitting outside drinking a chai latte until my call time.
Also, I have to say, after the first day, I kind of felt self-conscious a bit. And I ended up looking up this other runway that I knew that I was in, and I had a lot of judgments of myself because of it. I just felt like I was walking very hunched over, and I just didn't look my best all around. So for the second day of the runway, I really wanted to make sure that I was bringing it and looking my best, doing my best. Did I achieve that? Did I accomplish that? You can be the judge. For me, my own self-judgment is that I did okay. It's really a shame because my favorite look, my hair was in my eyes, and you couldn't even see my face for real. And then, and one of my least favorite looks, my face was on full display, and not to be insecure a little bit, but I did not like the way that my face looked. I felt like something could have gone better, but what can you do? I feel like with modeling there's no way to do better for real except for to get plastic surgery or something. And even though I have no problems with that personally, my wallet does have problems with that. It's not an option for me financially. And so I can only really work with what I have. I think it's been on my mind a lot though, because Tokyo's Fashion Week is soon, and while I do have one runway booked and I've submitted some applications to other stuff, I don't know, I just feel a little bit sensitive about it. Am I good enough? Does this industry want me? Does it like me? Asking myself a lot of those kinds of questions, and I'm not really able to come up with the answer. But, at the end of the day, all I can do is my best. The day after the runway, though, I had some free time to practice DJing. I love to DJ. I also DJed at the end of the week, so I wanted to do my best on that front too. I've been DJing for about a year and a half now, and I'm pretty decent at it, I have to say. Practicing in and of itself, very fun, very good times. I also, when I went out, I got to wear this like pink balaclava that I've never worn outside before. Let me know if you think it was cute, because I think it was very cute. That being said, I did have an opportunity to go to this really cool art event.
Retail therapy is wrong, but I can't help it. The demons are taking over my brain. They're telling me to go to the thrift store and spend money. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, I have a Ghost in the Shell event that I'm going to tonight. So hopefully I can get something that kind of goes along with that theme. We're gonna see, and I'll check back in. Yeah, I don't know. I just got back. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Low-key, I was like running around all of the city looking for something sexy. And they're right here actually. I was going to wear these vintage diesel like leather pants that look really good on me. But I have like really limited options to wear with them because I don't really like monochrome colors that much. And also I don't really have a good pair of shoes to go with them. So I was looking around for a long time. I did find something that I liked, but the gray issue, I don't know. I was like, no, I can't go with gray. So I did just kind of end up buying something cute. Ta-da! It's like green and kind of edgy and a sweater dress. I'm gonna put it on now. Actually, I saw this issue way faster than I thought. Yup. Yup.
If you are a nerd, and I'm betting that you're a nerd if you're watching Japan vlogs, you probably know Ghost in the Shell. Well, they have an exhibit going on, and I was invited to the opening night, so I got to go check that out with my friend Alyssa. It was really cool. It all felt so like cyberpunk futuristic. This is coming from somebody who's never watched Ghost in the Shell, by the way. But it was a really, really beautiful time, and the friend that I brought with me I felt like was the perfect choice for my plus one because she makes comics, so I was getting a lot of like behind the scenes industry insight that you can only get from somebody who makes art very dedicatedly. And each and every room and aspect of the exhibit just felt really well thought out, especially compared to the quality that I was expecting. I feel like they blew my expectations out of the water. And there was also this like tech showcase going on at the same time that we got to check out. I honestly didn't want to at first, just because I was like tired and being a party pooper, but I pushed through my sleepy mood, and it ended up being really fun, and it ended up being like a good lesson for me to, try beyond your limits sometimes. I feel like I see online a lot these discussions about like boundaries and all of these other things, but it kind of like falls into this territory of making excuses to not show up for your friends and being lazy socially. I think that in order to like maintain friendships and in order to maintain even a balance within yourself, even, you have to push yourself a little bit. You have to do what's uncomfortable. And sometimes if you do things that you don't necessarily want to do in the moment, you'll kind of realize like, oh, okay, like this was actually worth it. But a lot of people can't distinguish between discomfort and harm these days, and they kind of conflate the two. And they think like, oh, okay, like me putting myself in an uncomfortable situation is the same thing as being hurt, but it's not. And it was a good reminder. And I also kind of think that like the effort that you put into your relationships obviously comes back to you, and like the more you do for your friends, the more that you're able to ask of them. And I humbly asked my friends to come see me DJing, and some people that I didn't expect to show up actually showed up, and it was just like a huge comfort. And like, I don't want to say ego boost necessarily, but it was a huge comfort to know that there are so many people rooting for me, that want me to do well, and that want to dance to the music that I play. I did a decent job DJing. I was really happy to have this opportunity. I DJed for this group called Tokyo Party Club. They were doing this like event in Daikanyama where there were 3 clubs and you paid entrance to one and you got access to all 3. And all of the other DJs were really cool. Most of them were older people who have been doing this for so much longer than me, like my well-respected, well-loved senpais. So I got to see them all play and stuff. It was really cool and inspiring. It was also just a little bit silly because out of the 3 clubs, one of them was owned by my ex. So I did have to stop by and see what was going on, just to be like shady and funny just a little bit. He didn't end up being there, but it was silly. It was funny. Tokyo is such a small city, way smaller than you would think, and you run into the same people over and over again. So if you're planning on moving here, be careful. Don't think like, oh, like I can act any way I want and then I'll never see these people again. You might end up at your ex's bar, and then what are you gonna do if you left him on bad terms? What are you gonna say? So don't burn no bridges. That's my advice to you. That was my week. It was a good time. No complaints really. In the upcoming weeks, I'm going to work harder working on this fashion show, or not fashion show, sorry, on this photo shoot that I'm planning. I'm also going to be a part of a lot more DJ gigs, so I'm going to keep practicing, going to keep getting better, going to keep making art, loving and respecting my friends, and trying my hardest to make a little bit of money off of this really cool opportunity that I have here in Tokyo. Thank you so much for watching this week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tune in for my next video too. Bye bye.